mortgage insurance and homeowners insurance. These are two totally separate insurance policies that as a first-time home buyer, you may have both of them, but it's important to remember and to realize they're totally different things and they serve totally different purposes. So they both benefit the lender. Mortgage insurance is only to benefit the lender. The buyer pays for it, but it's entirely for the protection and the benefit of the lender. Let's just imagine if you're purchasing a home and it's a $100,000 home. That would be a miracle dream world, right? But just for easy numbers, if you had $90,000 cash and you're only getting a loan for $10,000, the lender is not having that much risk that you're going to walk away and they're going to foreclose on the house because you have so much equity in the house. Because of this, the lender won't necessarily feel that they need to put a mortgage insurance in place to protect them. Now let's flip it. If you were buying a $100,000 home and you only had $10,000 for a down payment, and the lender was lending you $90,000 for this home, they have a lot more skin in the game, right? You don't have quite as much skin in the game. And so if the buyer were to no longer be able to pay those mortgage payments and the lender were to have to foreclose on the house, that's an expensive process. The mortgage insurance will help the lender pay for the process of foreclosing on this house. So the lender has this insurance in place that the buyer pays for that is to help the lender recoup some of the costs associated with foreclosure. This is entirely to protect the lender. So of course, lenders want to minimize risks when they're making loans. So the amount of cash or equity that the buyer brings into the purchase will affect the loan terms. The loan terms will be more favorable if you're bringing more cash into the purchase or more equity into the purchase. So oftentimes with a conventional loan, if you have more than 20% down, the lender may waive the requirement of mortgage insurance. Homeowners insurance is to protect you as the buyer, the new owner of the home, and also to protect the lender. Now, this will always be required if you have a lender because they know that they need to protect their interest in that home. If there were a fire or a flood or a tornado or a hurricane or some kind of natural disaster and your home were damaged, those costs of those damages can be astronomical. And so because of that, it is vitally important to always have homeowners insurance on your property. Even if you were a cash buyer and you didn't have a loan at all, it still would be great to have a homeowners insurance policy on your property so that in the event of a fire, you would be able to recoup some of the financial losses associated with that. So it really is important to have homeowners insurance. This is one great way to help protect your value in your home, which is probably one of your greatest assets that you have. So while homeowners insurance is excellent to have to protect yourself, to protect your property value, definitely worth paying monthly so that you know that you have that to help you when needed. That's great to have always. Mortgage insurance is great for the lender to have, but you may not want to keep paying for that forever. So if you do have a mortgage insurance policy, talk to your lender. If you've been there long enough and you have enough equity, you may be able to get that waived. Nobody can really tell that ahead of time until you have that conversation with your lender. But if you do have any questions on knowing what's your home value or knowing how much equity you have, or any other questions really about real estate, I'm always happy to help. You can give me a call at my office, Century 21 JC Jones American Dream. The number is 541-476-6502. Or you can always just call me on my cell phone. I'm Anastasia Hendrick, and my cell phone is 541-226-6448. And I'm always happy to help.